everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be basically going over about 5 or 6 steps in preparing your environment in order to properly and efficiently sleep train your infant, your toddler, your newborn. And a lot of parents overlook many of these steps and you go straight to sleep training and it fails or it takes longer than expected. So just following a few of these steps can really make it an easier transition and task. I actually had my first baby sleeping through the night 12 hours at 8 weeks, and my second one started sleeping the night 12 hours at about 3.5 months. And I use the exact same steps and it works wonders, and you just feel so much better knowing that your baby is sleeping these big chunks and knowing it's helping their body growing, their brain is growing. And sleep is such an important part of it. It's such an important milestone that people don't realize that the faster they sleep through the night, the better it is health-wise for not only just the baby as well as everyone in the entire house. So let's get started. Number one is a very important step, and it's something that parents often overlook, is to black out the entire room that the baby is sleeping in. So typical blinds that come with the house or a condo or the apartment are not blackout at all. Sun is coming in, right? And that's difficult to connect that into sleeping, right? So what I recommend is, and what I've done for both of my kids, is purchasing blackout fabric and you tack it around the window. On top of that, you buy blackout curtains and you put that over the fabric. So essentially you've got the blinds a place came with, the fabric you tacked in, and then the curtains. And if you're super crazy like me, like really crazy, you'll take aluminum foil and you will place it in corners where even a millimeter of sun is coming in or a millimeter of light is coming in, and you just tack it in all these corners. And yes, my room does not look aesthetically pleasing and it looks horrible, but it works, and I'm gonna trade off kids sleeping the night for anything. So I don't care what it looks like, let's just all sleep the night. Number 2 is swaddling. And I know a lot of parents say, oh my gosh, they're squirming out, they just wanna be free, I can't swaddle, no, I can't do this. They'll adapt. And they came from such a tight, warm environment that they're gonna want that environment to be imitated. And swaddling is key. I've gone through a slew of swaddles, and the problem I have is how narrow the panels are that wrap around the baby. They're so narrow, they end up hiking up to here, and the baby's arms are then free and they're no longer swaddled. So swaddle I found super, super helpful is called the Halo Sleep Sack, and I absolutely love it. And it doesn't hike up. Like, even if a baby is like Houdini and tries to get out of it, it's pretty hard because of how wide these panels are. And you just wrap it around, and I loved it so much that my kids outgrew it, but I had my mom sew on some fabric to lengthen it so that the boys had time to kick and grow and whatnot. And this is just my go-to swaddle. Number 3 is very hard to commit to, and I completely understand it's not doable for everyone's schedule or lifestyle. I completely understand, but I was willing to do this because I really wanted them sleeping through the night fairly quickly, and which they did. Is wherever they are sleeping at nighttime, their naps should be there as well. So anytime they nap or go down for the night, they should be in the exact same spot every single time. I know that sounds nuts, because what are you supposed to be housebound in your entire condo for like 3 or 4 months? Not necessarily, but kind of, yeah. So I had like a 10-minute radius rule. So I could go grocery shopping or go to the park as long as it was within a 10-minute stroll. So a lot of times I'd be like racing home. We would show cues of falling asleep, like rubbing their eyes or red around the eyes or yawning or becoming a bit fussy, and I would just bolt it as fast as I can so I can bring them back to their crib where they do all their naps and their overnight sleep in. And it basically signals and translates to the baby that this is the smell, the sights of my bedroom, and this means sleep. 4th one is to ensure you've got white noise. And white noise is essential. Lullabies often end up distracting the babies or infants or toddlers as they get older. So then you have to transition out of a lullaby either to white noise or to nothing. And all these transitions are so much work for the baby as well as the parents, that I ask myself this question: where do I want to see the baby in 1 year, in the sense of what habits? I don't want them having a lullaby, so I'm not going to start that. I don't want them sleeping in the carrier. I'm not going to start that. I don't want them sleeping at so-and-so house once a week. I don't want that, so I won't start that. Is basically have them sleep in wherever they're going to sleep in when they're 1 year old. I know I said that, but what I mean by that is when they get home as newborn babies, I did not co-sleep. I did not put them in a bassinet or a playpen. I went straight to a crib, because again, I'll be transitioning from co-sleeping, bassinet to crib. And again, these are habits you're developing for your baby. So if they get used to something and they don't want you to break that transition, they don't want to break that habit, it's going to be that much harder to transition them to a crib. And no, a crib is not going to be too big for a newborn, because they'll be swaddled, right? So they'll still feel that tightness, that warmth, that comfort. And so I always start them off in a crib. I don't see a big deal in it, and I think that's where they're going to always end up anyways. Why not start it right off the bat? That's just my opinion, and I think it develops into really good sleep hygiene, really good self-soothing. Is have a devoted device to playing the white noise. Don't use your phone, don't use your laptop. It's gonna run out of batteries. You're gonna have to plug it in or find the outlet every single time a baby is showing cues for sleeping. And often when they're whining and fussing, you can't seem to get it in the port, or you can't find an outlet and you go nuts. So I actually have a mini speaker that I have set up all day long, playing what I need to play, the white noise. So when baby is ready to sleep, I am ready to go, and there's no tackling outlets, there's no tackling ports. It's just such a smooth transition, and it's so handy and stress-free. Committing to these 5 accessories will really help you and baby achieve 12 hours of sleep fairly quickly. And I know it seems like a lot of work, and having a blackout blinds, having a swaddle ready, sleeping in the crib or for every nap, and doing the bedtime there as well. It's really worth it, because both my kids slept a night within 2 to 3 months, and they sleep 7 to 7, no problem. And I feel so happy knowing that their brain is developing, their body is developing with sleep. Sleep is so essential to their growth that it's a milestone, in my opinion. It's a huge milestone, and it's something that I'm willing and happily put the effort into achieving that for them as well as myself, because I want to sleep too, right? Everyone wants to sleep the whole night. So follow those 5 environmental or accessories, and I guarantee it will really boost and make the process so much easier, so much faster to sleep train, that you'll be so happy, and so will the baby.